So if you missed it last week, we are really excited about a new segment of our worship service we are calling Moments of Grace. We want to hear from you, Summit friends, how you are using this time to find moments of grace, moments of peace, of rest, of soul restoration or connection with God. This morning we're going to hear from a couple friends who find their moments of grace out on the water, kayaking and sailing.
Hi, this is Rick and Kathy, and we live here on Lake Symington. It's a little lake about 4 miles from Seabeck. We have seen some amazing wildlife. Not only do we have lots of ducks and geese, but we have herons and eagles. We have a beaver lodge around the corner on a little island, and we even have had otters sometimes come and play on the dock. It's always been a special place for us. We've been here about 29 years now, but during the pandemic, this place has been truly a blessing. I feel closer to God when I'm outside in the yard working, and it gives me a chance when I'm surrounded by nature to reflect and remember what's truly important in my life. About 10 years ago, Rick fulfilled a lifelong dream of getting a sailboat, and so we have a 36-foot Catalina. For the past 10 years, we have been doing some extended cruising, mostly in British Columbia in the Inland Passage. And we find we really, again, enjoy connecting with nature out there. We've also seen some amazing sights. We've cruised with humpback whales about 20 feet off our beam, spouting. We one time had an eagle fly right past our dinghy and grab a salmon out of the water right there. We've seen bears turning over rocks on beaches at low tide looking for goodies. And we've seen, of course, tons of harbor seals. We've also met some terrific people along the way. We've also had some close calls. When Susie asked us to talk about our boating experiences in relation to the Bible passage this week, Rick and I looked at each other and we came up with the same story of one terrifying incident in the Queen Charlotte Islands.
We were there to visit the First Nation heritage sites and the totem poles and learn the history of the tribal people that lived there. Heading towards our last heritage site, we had to go around this point. As we came around Benjamin Point, we ran into some troubled waters that we'd never experienced before. And as we got further around the point, the waters got worse and taller. There were like mountains of water just gushing up and pitching the boat. We were rolling profusely, which was a real hazard because it was throwing everything from side to side. At one point, eventually, we were thrashing so hard that the strap holding our dinghy on the davit on our stern broke loose, and as a result, the dinghy was just swinging around like crazy, and there was nothing I could do about that because I had my hands full trying to keep the boat going forward. I got a little spiritual and prayed for this to end. I asked God, is this the end for us? I said, if not, I could use some guidance right now. And almost immediately I looked up, and ahead I could see what looked like calmer waters maybe about 300 yards ahead. 5 minutes we came out of it, and the seas calmed, and it was like we were in normal waters now.
Good morning, Summit Church. Welcome to my moment of grace today. Actually, sometimes I call it my moments of bliss at one of my favorite places in Kitsap County, here at the Brownsville Marina. I love this marina. For the last 10 years, I've been kayaking and small boat sailing here during the summers. I'm a frequent flyer, and I just love being here because it's such a great, beloved community. We have commercial fishermen. We have people who live on their boats, the liveaboards, and then we have people like myself, where I just come out for a few hours at a time drop a boat in the water, and if there's no wind, I paddle, and if there's wind, I go sailing. Every day, every time I come out here, it is a moment of grace. It's my Big Sky Chapel. I have often thought as well that this is a great place to just really ruminate on the gospel stories of Jesus. And you know, when he first called his disciples, he picked commercial fishermen. And some of his greatest teachings came from small boats on the water in all kinds of weather. He calmed the ferocious seas and the terrible winds. He called out for Peter during one of the most terrible storms recorded in the gospel to get out of the boat and walk on water to him. And by golly gee, Peter did it. He did it without a life jacket. He stepped out in faith, lost his nerve, sank like a stone. Jesus rescued him. And oh my gosh, then with a word, Jesus said to the storm and seas, "Peace, be still." And the disciples and generations of disciples ever since are asking, who is this who calms the seas and the wind with a word? So for my moment of grace today, I'm just going to paddle around the marina and bond with God's beautiful creation. In a couple of hours, a friend of mine will come. We'll each rig our little 15-foot sailboats, and we'll go out for a few hours and be wave dancers, wind capturers. That wonderful moment of grace when the wind fills the sails, and boom, we're off, dancing on the waves. So thank you for sharing my moments of bliss, moments of grace. I hope to see you here at the waterfront sometime this summer. God bless and Godspeed. Bye-bye.
Well, after watching that, I sure am feeling the need for a paddle. So raise your hand out there if you have a kayak you're willing to let me borrow for an afternoon. And reports did come back that after the filming ended, Rick was able to get that kayak that floated away and rescue it and get it home. Did you catch that on the video? What can you do?